Hey guys, today I will make a 3D mark of the Microsoft Surface Pro. I will compare it to my stationery, not that it is a very powerful stationery, just so you can see the difference. I have listed few of the most important specs on 2 pieces of paper, and as you can see, my stationery has twice as much RAM and a stronger processor. Yeah, well, the test takes about 20 minutes, so I think we should get started. I'll just get both the stationery and the laptop in the frame, and I will starting by showing you that on my stationery I will not be able to make a full test, because as you can see we can make the ice storm test. It's for mobile devices and entry-level PCs, and the cloud gate test for notebooks and home PCs, but I will not be able to make the fire strike test. It's for high performance gaming PCs, and my GPU does not support DirectX 11. Let's go down to the Microsoft Surface Pro. I will be able to run all 3 tests, but as you might expect, the fire strike test will not be very successful on the Surface Pro as it is not a high performance gaming PC. But let's run the test. It takes about 20 minutes. I will not be talking much during. I probably will be talking a little bit. Let's see if we can get them both started at approximately the same time. That seemed about right. Both PCs have a fresh reboot, and I have shut down all programs that are running. The only extra thing running on the Surface is the antivirus program. I didn't want to shut it all down because there was no shut down button, so that's why I didn't do that. And on the stationery, the only extra driver running, program so to speak, is the ATI Catalyst program. I'll remove these so I can show you the frame rate in the next sequence. This is a freeware version of Futuremark's 3D Mark. It's called Basic Edition, and there will be a download link in the description below the video. Now the Surface Pro shows you how the frame rate is. As you can see in this test, it's fairly good. But now the stationary is ready for that test as well. And as you can see, it's a bit higher. At the moment there are about 150 frames per second difference. And that's how it is all through the test. Except for the last test, which the stationary can't run because the lack of DirectX 11. Don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to show the frames per second on both machines. I don't know if you can hear it, but the Surface's fans are working very hard at the moment. But it really don't seem that they're working harder than if you're playing World of Warcraft or StarCraft or any other game on the Surface. So I believe it's normal. Now you can really see a difference. I zoom in on the Surface's frames per second. We are at the moment below 20. And on the stationary we are about 30, just keeping above 30. And as I said, the stationary is not a gaming PC. It's a Dell 420, about 6 years old. Still keeps up with the good games, but you have to run at a lower resolution. It was just brought into the test so you had something to compare it with. And of course you can download the 3D Mark test basic edition and run it at your own stationary or laptop to see how the Surface performs against your machine. Sorry. Now the Surface is running about 7 frames per second. And we will see how the stationary goes. Runs it in a second. Yeah, it runs at about 11, 12, 10. Now the Surface is about to run the high performance PC 3D Mark Firestrike, and as you can see the stationary have stopped because it doesn't support DirectX 11. I will show you the result of the stationary and the Surface about the same time, so I'll just zoom in at the Surface. Takes a long time to load the Firestrike 3D Mark. Almost ready. And there you can see that it's not a high performance PC. But as I think I've said in all my other reviews in other games, it's not a machine that you will primarily use to game on. It's a machine that you will have the ability and the possible way to play on, and it is possible to play on the Microsoft Surface Pro. If you were playing this game, if it was real, you wouldn't be running it at the ultra setting as this is shown in. You will be running it on low or even very low, and then the Surface would probably run the game fairly well, so you have the opportunity to run on the Surface when you are away on vacation or at a friend's house and didn't want to bring your stationery and so on. But you can see that in my other reviews where I play other games. You can see that it performs fairly well for for kind of a small laptop or a big tablet, so to speak. because this is no joy. Now we will be able to see how few frames per second the surface gets in this test. Two to 3 frames per second. That's about as low as it gets. And it's the same in this test. 2.3, 3 frames per second. And you should have at least 30 to play a video game. And that's the minimum. In my opinion. Mostly you will run in about 60 frames per second, but worst comes to worst, 30 would be enough. I'm not trying to argue with anyone here, that's just my opinions. This runs a bit better, but far not enough. We're running at about 10 frames per second at the moment. Oops, sorry, just hit the camera. Well, it could get worse. This is a combined test of the previous we just seen. and we are running below 1 frame per second. Oh, we just jumped to almost 4. Well, while the Surface is getting the score, I can show you the score from the control PC, or what we should call it. In Ice Storm we got 54,800 at 61. And I can show you it's a valid result. In Cloudgate we got 5,049 and it's also valid. Let me switch to the Surface. In Ice Storm we got 31,832. That's over 20,000 lower than the control PC. And the program does not approve of the graphics driver. And I should say I just updated the driver, so there is no newer version. We go down to Cloudgate. It got 3,621. That's 1,500 lower than the control PC, and it's the same with the graphics driver. And in the Firestrike benchmark we got 503, and it's because the Surface supports DirectX 11, but it doesn't really run the games very well that needs DirectX 11. At least not if you put everything on Ultra. So try to use a lower setting and you might get lucky. Well, that was the comparison between the Surface Pro and medium stationary. If you want me to test a game for you, I'll gladly do it. Just post a comment on one of my YouTube videos and I'll see if I can find the game and test it out for you. Thank you. See ya.